The roll cast is a great cast to use when there are obstacles behind you and you don't have lots of space. It's a very effective cast to use when fishing on rivers, allowing you to easily cast out your line without getting tangled behind. Firstly, using your spare hand, pull 2 to 3 arm lengths of line off the reel. Then lower the rod tip towards the surface of the water and wiggle the rod from left to right multiple times to allow the line to glide through the rod rings and out onto the water. You can use your spare hand to help. Body position is important. Stand comfortably and facing your target. Place your thumb on top of the rod handle facing the rod tip and wrap your palm around it, holding firmly but gently. When casting, we often refer to a clock face. Directly above you is 12 o'clock, below is 6 o'clock, in front is 9 o'clock, and directly behind is 3 o'clock. To begin with, keep the rod tip just above the water surface. This is your starting point. From there, lift the rod up using your arm so the rod tip points directly upwards towards 1 o'clock. Your forearm is doing the work here, lifting the rod from the water surface to the sky whilst comfortably tucked into your body. From this position, imagine your rod is a hammer in your hand and directly in front of you there's a nail which you're going to tap in. So with one motion, tap your forearm forward to a pause at 10 o'clock before slowly lowering the rod, stopping just above the water surface. If done correctly, the line will land gently and smoothly on the water surface and relatively straight. It's vital to aim your rod tip at 1 o'clock. This allows for the line to create a D loop as the line lifts off the water and you prepare to cast it out. Stopping your rod tip before or at 12 o'clock can lead to the line not casting out onto the water correctly and poor presentation. The hammer tap gives the line the energy it needs to propel out onto the water. Take your rod tip from 1 o'clock to 10 o'clock in one motion using your forearm and not just your hand. The overhead cast is popular because it's very effective at getting line out onto the water, particularly to gain distance. It's also a bit easier to be more accurate with it than the roll cast. To begin with, keep your rod tip just above the water surface. This is your starting point. From there, raise the rod up using your arm with sufficient energy and speed to lift the line from the water so the rod tip points directly upwards towards 1 o'clock. The fly line will follow the rod tip. Your forearm is doing the work here, lifting the rod from the water surface to the sky whilst comfortably tucked into your body. When you get to 1 o'clock, pause before bringing your rod forward. This enables the fly line to unfurl behind you. Then in one motion, tap your forearm forward to a pause at 10 o'clock before slowly lowering the rod, stopping just above the water surface. The fly line will follow the rod tip and, if done correctly, the line will land gently and smoothly on the water surface, relatively straight. Use your forearm when performing the overhead cast and not your wrist, as it's stronger and much more comfortable. Start an overhead cast with roughly the same length of fly line out on the water as the length of your rod. When done correctly, you will feel the rod doing the work for you because it's designed to work with the fly line. It will flex and recover. By pausing at 1 o'clock and then again at 10 o'clock, you're allowing the line to straighten out both behind you and again in front of you, which leads to a perfect presentation on the water. Using your spare hand, pull an arm length of line off the reel and hold it. This is the line you're going to shoot. Taking the rod back to 1 o'clock on the back cast, hold onto the line with your spare hand, and on the forward cast, let some line out, allowing a little bit of line out with every forward cast until all of the line for your spare hand is out. Once you've mastered the basic roll and overhead casts, you'll be ready to learn some simple techniques to make you an even better, more versatile caster. Single hauling adds speed to your fly line. It helps to load the rod and achieve greater distance. It's ideal to use in windy conditions as it gives you much more control over your cast. Single hauling on the back cast is useful when you have the wind behind you, also known as a tailwind. As you lift your rod from the water to 1 o'clock, using your spare hand, pull down hard on the line. As with the usual overhead cast, pause at 1 o'clock before casting forward. Single hauling on the forward cast is useful when you have the wind facing you, also known as a headwind. As you take your rod forward from 1 o'clock, using your spare hand, pull down hard on the line. Double hauling involves putting both the back and forward cast single hauls together in one single fluid casting action. Timing is vital when you're double hauling, not pausing on either the back or the forward cast, or casting too quickly and the cast just won't work. If the haul is done too hard or too sharp, you'll get a tail and loop. The longer the line, the longer the haul required. Improving your casting takes practice and time. For better accuracy and greater distance, try using targets on grass at home and changing the range of the targets. The more you practice, the better you'll get. One day it will all come so naturally that you won't even have to really think about it. Learning to cast is frustrating at first, but keep trying and you will get better. One of the best investments you can make in your fly fishing journey is a professional lesson, which can save many frustrating hours.